So it's Friday Night Comics. Welcome. We call this the We Believe in Comics uh, workshops. It's whether you didn't set the clocks back, whether it's Saturday morning, whether it's late Friday afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome. You're at the Sequential Artist Workshop with the We Believe in Comics workshop. Reminder, we had a write-up in Radical Teacher magazine, so go look for that, the Friday Night Comics that we've been doing here for 3 years now, or is it four? 20, 3 years. No, 4 years. 4 years. Excuse me. Anyway, SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit. We have lots of online courses and other things happening. You can go to sawcomics.org to find out about them. Um, One just launched and we're excited about is low pressure comic systems with Finn McCabe. Finn has done a couple of these Friday night workshops. He just is really interested in letting you explore what interests you while also having a good time doing it. And that's going to be a really fun, really quick class. It's on Mondays and Thursdays in December for just 2 weeks. And Finn's a really, really delightful uh, fun, fun instructor with a lot of great, funny ideas. Next week in the slot, it's the Nonfiction Comics Festival happening in Vermont. We're doing an online kickoff for it with Vanessa Davis, and we're calling it non-nonfiction. And what does that mean? You have to join in to find out. Um, all right, so what else do we have? So if you go to sawcomics.org, you can suggest some other courses, and we'll take a look at those and trying to fill out our 2026 schedule. So welcome. Thank you if you've donated to this or any other of our events or in any other way. It helps us keep these events free. It helps us with create scholarship funds for our larger programs and our smaller programs. Helps us pay the instructors and things like that. So thank you very much. So let's get started. We like to keep it PG-13 when we do some sharing, so nothing inappropriate. I think you know what that means, hopefully. And when you share tonight, share on social media, you use that hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can use the @ symbol at Comics Workshop. Maureen is at Maureen Burdock. I'll put that in the chat. It's real easy. And you can join us at members.sawcomics.org. And these events are 90 minutes long, so we'll stop at in about 86 minutes from now. So if you're trying to share at those last minutes, we may have to cut you off. We don't like to, but there are lots of ways to share, including being a part of our PDFs. Oops, that's out of place. There we go. Including being in our PDFs that happen um, every week that we put on Seesaw Comics. You just click in and they look like this, and we'll send you a link to submit them. And they're just really great records of these wonderful workshops. So I want to thank you. So enjoy. Now I'm going to scroll up to tell you about Maureen. She's doing a 3-month deep dive into graphic medicine that starts in January, I think January 20th. And that is an annual course she runs that's really deep and great, and it's a limited class size, and it's really great. And otherwise, she's also doing comics activism, which starts, I believe, in exactly 1 week, but it might be next Saturday. And that's what today's workshop is about. And also that she's got a brand new book called Sleepless Planet that just came out a couple days ago, I think. So look for that, and I'll put that link in the chat as well. And I'll stop sharing. Welcome, everybody. I haven't been looking at the chat, but I know there's a lot going on. So Maureen is here and not here, and the truth is that she fled the country. She is now living in the Netherlands as of like 3 days ago, and she had dual citizenship, so she could do that. So if you want to ask her about that, that's how that kind of thing happens. I'm gonna raise my hand. However, she provided us some video materials that she said, "Can you share this?" And I said, "Yeah." And it's going to be really fun. It's exciting thing. She also has a little slideshow, so we'll get started. But I'm going to need somebody, especially, for instance, Doc Hoff or Lori, and mostly I'm mentioning you two because you're high up on my grid. I'm going to ask you to tell me if you can hear this when I start sharing my screen. So what I'm going to do is present Maureen's intro, and just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. And here we go. And I'll be drawing with you once we get drawing. Okay. I assume you can all see Maureen. Now let's try hearing her. Maureen?
Hello, everyone. I'm Maureen Burdock.
Oh, it's fast. You could hear it, but I put it on fast. So let's change that really fast. Normal. Sorry, Maureen, we froze you at a funny angle. All right. So I got a thumbs up, so I'll let this play and her warm up comes pretty soon, but you'll get a little intro.
Hello, everyone.
Good.
I'm Maureen Burdock. I'm a graphic novelist, illustrator, and teacher, and I'm so excited to be here. Unfortunately, can't be here synchronously with you tonight, but Tom Hart has graciously agreed to co-host with me and try this new experimental thing since we have just moved to the Netherlands and it's something like 2 a.m. My time while you're seeing this now. So thank you, Tom, for making it possible for me to sleep, but still be present here in this way. I'm just wanted to briefly introduce myself. And then we'll have an opening warm up prompt and a few slides that I've prepared for you about the topic that is our topic tonight of comics and activism. I am the author of three graphic novels now. The first came out in 2014. It was titled Five Feminist Fables for the 21st Century, The F Word Project, with a foreword by Trina Robbins. And that came out by McFarland Books. The second was Queen of Snails, a graphic memoir that came out from Graphic Mundi in 2022 and was critically acclaimed. And I just released Sleepless Planet, a graphic guide to healing from insomnia. The publication date was November 4. So that also is out with Graphic Mundi, and I am so thrilled to be able to announce that you can now purchase that anywhere books are sold, hopefully, and including, the big online box store places that we know of. And I've also authored a number of essays and chapters in the realm of comic studies, including in a book that's coming out soon on comics and social justice in healthcare. So I will let you know more about that soon. I hope you enjoy this little presentation, but first I'm going to let Tom take you through the warm-up prompt, and I'll see you here again shortly.
Oops. Not supposed to pause it. I'm supposed to pause the video. There we go. Okay, so Maureen says this is the warm-up prompt. Uh, and I have it in the chat as well. So I'll read it. The warm-up prompt, as you can see, hopefully, is what pressing topic or problem has been on your mind? Think of this as one piece of a larger puzzle that makes up your present reality. Draw 2 to 3 panels as interlocking puzzle pieces. You might imagine these in isolation or as a filled-in part of a larger puzzle that is still incomplete. 10 minutes and everybody holds up their work at the end in a kind of grid form. So um, I'm going to put, uh, I'll stop sharing because I'm going to put that in the chat. Um, okay, and one last time, it's in the chat, and I'm going to start sharing on my tablet. See if that works. Yep. Okay. Gonna Procreate. Oop. See if it's working. Not working yet. There we go. Okay. So I'm making a couple small changes to Maureen's, not to the prompt, but to what happened to my Procreate? There we go. But to the timing. She says 10 minutes, and I think that's a good amount of time, except she has a really long slideshow. So in about 3 minutes, I'm going to start the slideshow. We can all get started for 3 to 4 minutes. And There we go. I'll start it for 3 minutes. And and once that'll give us some time to sort of warm up. And then I'll let her presentation play out while we finish this warm up. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to write down some of the things. You might want to write these things down. Also, I'd love to hear in the chat what, although this is asking a lot, what pressing topic or problem has been on your mind. Feel free to put that in the chat, but boy, right? It's all things. Um, hey, Alan, I'm going to put it in the chat right below where you just asked. Yeah, and Nancy's saying where to start. So for me, I'm going to write my list. And like I said, I'm going to spend the first 3 minutes in kind of silence, and then um, I'll let Marines play. List of troubles. Right, Eli. Yeah, mass incarceration. Yeah, thank you for that one, which is usually low on a lot of people's list because there's so many other problems, but it's a big one too. A big one. List of troubles. National Guard. I think I'll write that down. Against cities. Yeah, ICE. Oh my gosh. And now snap. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, scuffy. Right. I get that. Oh yeah. Plastic spoon in my brain. So in a minute, I'm gonna take off my then there's also wars everywhere. Climate. Um wow. Growing older in the society. Yeah, yeah. All right. Um Gerrymandering, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, lack of free speech. Oh my gosh. To make art or sell art in my remaining time on Earth? That's a great question. I'm going to put in the chat the warm up one last time. I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to start sharing Maureen's um, presentation, which is it's a little long. So y'all can keep drawing while she speaks about. Time is not really up. It just means that we're gonna um, switch over to the things that she wants to share while you keep working on this stuff. Share, place current share. Oh, where's Marine's thing? Oh, okay, here we go. And all right, so there's her warm-up prompt. And we're gonna slide to about 322 and let her speak again. And give me a thumbs down if you can't hear this as she starts to speak.
All right, on to our slideshow. So why
Thumbs up, you
comics?
can hear.
Why now? The world is in crisis. How can you directly engage your work to meet the strain of political chaos, environmental crises, social inequities, and maintain your own health and sanity in the face of all that? As the feminist adage goes, the personal is political, and comics do a singular job of showing how public issues and personal ones are interwoven. Comics are uniquely democratic. You don't need a big budget or institution, just paper, pen, and passion. They combine the intimacy of handwriting with the reach of mass media. They're portable empathy machines, and they've always been political. You can see here some historic protest posters and zine covers that one could see as precursors to contemporary graphic narrative works. On the left, there's a poster by German artist Käthe Kollwitz. And this was done in 1924 between World Wars I and II in Germany. The title is Never Again War. The center image is by John Hartfield, who was anti-fascist. And this was done in 1932, early on as Hitler was coming into power. The title translates to Design for Adolf the Superman, Swallows Gold and Sprouts Rubbish. It's a photo montage by John Hartfield. And on the right, you have a Black Panther poster distributed by Robert Brown Elliott League. An attack against one is an attack against all. And this was done around 1970. All right, I'm going to give you an extremely short history of activist comics next. Comics have long been a voice of dissent. In the 19th century, we saw the rise of political cartoons and early labor comics, like Mr. Block, which was actually created in 1912. The character is the protagonist of an eponymous satirical comic series, which appeared in left-wing publications to sympathize with the common worker. Mr. Block is a predecessor to underground comics. And then in the 1960s to 70s, we saw the rise of underground comics and feminist scenes, work that's represented in volumes such as women's comics, which is one of the covers is pictured here. And then from the 1980s to around 2000, we saw a rise of documentary comics, works such as Art Spiegelman's Mouse and Joe Sacco's Palestine and Marjan Satrapi's Persepolis, which was published, I think, in 2000 or right around then. And then from 2000s to today, we've seen a huge global surge of memoir, graphic journalism, and intersectional activism. The power of sequential art is phenomenal, of course. Sequential art builds emotional pacing, pause, silence, fragmentation. It mirrors how trauma and resilience unfold over time. It powerfully reveals how the personal and the political co-create the world we experience. Every panel is a political choice: what to include, what to frame, what to emphasize. And you see examples here from Marjan Satrapi's Persepolis and from the graphic novel March about the American civil rights era. Next, let's look at some graphic novels dealing with human rights, war, and displacement. Bearing Witness. These works make visible what's often underrepresented: civilians' experiences of war, for example, displacement, and human rights abuses. I want to highlight a few titles here. One of them, again, is Persepolis by Marjan Satrapi. Her memoir of growing up during Iran's revolution, a story of repression and exile told through stark black and white imagery. In the center is the cover of Deo Gratias, Jean-Philippe Stassen's nonlinear portrayal of trauma after Rwanda's genocide. And then I have the cover here of Palestine by Joe Sacco, whose groundbreaking comics journalism turns war reporting into human testimony. A couple other titles that I don't have pictured here are I Remember Beirut, Zaina Abarashed's poetic recall of civil war in Lebanon, and Zara's Paradise, a graphic novel that was conceived by a Persian writer, Amir Sultani, an Arab artist, Khalil, and a Jewish editor who chose anonymity for political reasons. Two of them are Iranian expatriates who want to protect their families in Iran from repressions by the Iranian government. The writer, Amir Sultani, describes himself as a human rights activist, journalist, and documentary filmmaker. Next, I want to show you some titles that address race, civil rights, and resistance topics. Marching for Justice. Comics can document social movements, help to replace ignorance with information, and amplify collective struggle. Books I have pictured here are March Trilogy, Run, John Lewis's first-hand chronicle of the Civil Rights Movement, Incognito, Passing and Racial Violence Through Noir Storytelling. That's a great read. They Called Us Enemy, George Takei's memoir of Japanese American incarceration, and a contemporary piece, Your Black Friend, Ben Passmore's witty, sharp commentary on everyday racism. And that's available on YouTube as a short animation as well. Another topic that is addressed by graphic novelists very effectively is environmental justice, with and beyond the human. These artists expose environmental destruction and corporate exploitation, turning data and autobiography into a larger story. Examples of this are Flood, Eric Drucker's wordless warning about ecological collapse, Climate Changed, Philippe Squarzoni intertwines memoir and climate science in a really effective, beautiful way, and Crude, Pablo Fajardo's struggle for justice after oil devastation in Ecuador. Feminist and LGBTQ plus activism is a field that's very close to my heart. And I have a fun title pictured here by Liv Stromquist. These creators reclaim their bodies, identities, and voices, refusing to be defined by systems that silence or shame them. Through memoir, satire, and storytelling, they transmute their personal experiences. Some books that exemplify this are The Fruit of Knowledge, shown here by Liv Stromquist, a witty illustrated history of how patriarchy has mythologized, pathologized, and controlled female sexuality, turning taboo into laughter and revolt. Menopause, a comic treatment, is another title I want to mention here. Feminist medical comics breaking silence around embodiment. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Genderqueer by Maya Kobabe, a groundbreaking non-binary coming-of-age memoir about identity, pronouns, and self-representation, a deeply personal story that has sparked a lot of public conversations about censorship and inclusion. And finally, I want to mention under this category a wonderful book titled Becoming Unbecoming by Una, a hauntingly illustrated memoir about sexual violence, victim blaming, and gendered shame set against the Yorkshire Ripper era, merging personal trauma with systemic critique. Another category that graphic novelists deal with beautifully is around labor and economic justice, class issues. Comics from the shop floor. From the industrial workers of the world to today's gig economy, comics record labor's struggles. Some titles that are noteworthy here are Red Rosa by Kate Evans, a vivid biographical graphic novel about Rosa Luxemburg, revolutionary thinker, economist, and feminist, showing how her ideas about democracy and equality remain urgent today. Wobbly's graphic oral history of radical labor organizing. And again, as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Block, an early 20th century anarchist comic that is very humorous and that helped forge solidarity in the time and is often credited with being a precursor to 1960s and 70s underground comics. All right. Intersectional and contemporary activism, crossing borders and building bridges. Modern activist comics work across intersections, race, gender, environment, and justice. The books I want to mention here are Black Panther Party, a graphic novel history, radical organizing made accessible, and pictured here, I have Guantanamo Voices, firsthand accounts of dehumanization and resistance. And to the right is the cover of Threads, Kate Evans's compassionate on the ground comics about refugees in Calais. I also want to mention Drawing the Line, Indian Women's Visual Response to Gender Violence. And finally, last but not least, a category that's also very close to my heart, health justice and graphic medicine, the power of compassion and the politics of care. Health is political. It's shaped by systems of care, access, and representation. Graphic medicine invites us to draw our bodies and experiences as living documents, making healing a shared activist act. These works show that caring, witnessing, and surviving are all forms of resistance. I want to mention just 3 titles here, even though there are many, many, many more. COVID Chronicles, a comics anthology of artists around the world documenting isolation, grief, frontline work, and solidarity during the recent pandemic. This is an archive of collective resistance. A book that needs to be mentioned because it was one of the first in the field that's now recognized as graphic medicine, Taking Turns by M.K. Cervic, compassionate memoir of her time working on an AIDS ward in Chicago. And then I want to mention my own book, Sleepless Planet, the one that was just published, a graphic guide to healing from insomnia. In this book, it chronicles my own journey of healing from lifelong problems with sleep. And I tie this in with larger issues of human restlessness, hyperactivity, and hyperproductivity, and how that is affecting other species, and how our lack of ability to stop and rest is basically destroying life on Earth. So I make a lot of connections there, and it's based on a lot of deep research as well to help people hopefully slow down and sleep better. All right, I want to make this announcement, or rather, I'm going to pause after I read this slide to let Tom tell you a little bit more about where to sign up if you're interested in learning more. Activist Comics short course, 4 weeks, that's starting on November 15, so in about a week. In this course, we'll start by considering some of the graphic novels I mentioned here, and then jump in with prompts that inspire you as you work on your own mini comic, or maybe you're working already on a longer ongoing project and want to share some work from that and feel motivated as you continue to develop that work. So, Tom, I'll let you pause this here if you want to say a little bit more, and then I'll take you to our main prompt.
All right, I get to be in control again. It's a joke. I saw some people saying what a good list, and yeah, I agree. And honestly, I probably didn't know more than half of those, and I'm supposedly this is my field of expertise, so I'm really grateful for Maureen to make that list av available. I wish it were in text form so I could copy and paste it somewhere, but it's not. So hopefully you all were writing those down. Um, and we have to get our Libby apps up and running, right, or whatever. Um, she asked us to finish our puzzle warm up and to share it in the grid. So if you all want to do that, I'll share mine. I actually thought it was kind of weird at first, and then I started to really enjoy it as I put, as I just, I don't know, as I just sort of mashed it. So I want to see everybody's. So like, um, if you have one, if you did this first warm up, there's Joanne, there's Alan. Mine is sort of strange. There's Judith and Sally and Mark and Michaela and Linda. Great, thank you everybody. And take a screenshot or oh look at oh, there's some great things happening. We'll have a chance to share a little longer um at the end of Maureen's real prompt. And again, thanks Jenny and Steve and everybody who's posting right now. Yeah, Katie, sometimes. Ramona, same thing. Some people are like, oh, I was listening. Yep, drawing and not taking notes. That's okay. Okay. We'll take a moment and um, go back to Maureen's final prompt, which is a small one actually compared to that. Um, all right, so here we go. I think she'll start in just a minute.
All right, this evening's prompt. So this is a two-panel prompt. What breaks your heart and what keeps it beating? Two panels side by side. So the first panel is about something that breaks your heart, something that's close to your heart, something that has been on your mind. Injustice, loss, fear. This could be something quite personal, or it could be something out in the world that is impacting you, that you care about deeply. Then the second, something that keeps your heart beating. So a gesture, a hope, a vision. And what I'd like you to think about is how these two panels interrelate. So is the second something that can help with the first? Are they mutually kind of intertwined? And how does the one affect the other? So the goal is to pair grief with resilience. And every activist comic, every graphic novel that we've just looked at here tonight contains both grief and resilience and solutions and hopes and um, methods. So I hope you enjoy this drawing time. I think I'll let Tom tell you how much time you should allot, and so that you have plenty left over for sharing. And I hope I see you again soon, perhaps as part of the Comics and Activism course next week, and or around Saw in other contexts, or and on Instagram as you post the work that you're doing here tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing that and seeing what you've done here tonight, and looking forward to seeing you again synchronously soon. Thank you.
All right, I'll put what Maureen just said in the chat one last time. Thanks, Aaron. And and there we go, stop share. I love that she said, post it on Instagram, and just that phrase alone is full of grief and resilience for me. I'm like, oh my God, Instagram is this like you have to hold your hatred of it and your need for it at the same time. At least that's how I feel. Okay, so I put that in the chat, and as before, I'll share my screen as I draw, not because I'm a great drawer, but just why not? It's nice to have somebody drawing. So let me do that. And I don't know what I'm going to draw. And I think I'm going to give us about 12 minutes, and then the early birds who are ready can can start sharing, and then we can let other people finish while we do that. Um, let me go to the screen sharing. Um, and looks like it's sharing. It's my weird. All right. So, um, and I'm going to write it out. What breaks your heart? One. What keeps it beating? Yeah, what does keep it beating? Um, let's see. What was the rest? Two panels. gesture, a hope, a vision, justice, loss, fear. All right. So I'm going to write down what she wrote. Pair grief, resilience. Okay, I'm going to set that 12-minute timer. I just wanted to write that out for everybody and for myself. Hmm. My problem is I don't know how to draw these abstract things. There's 4 minutes left. How are people doing on their two panels? Great. Thank you for putting the prompt in for Christian. Um, if anybody's ready, you can raise your hand. If not, we can keep drawing for another minute or two. But I'd love to see if people are ready to start. Um, oh, great. Alan's ready. We'll wait for a couple more, Alan. Um, I found it very hard to do this first panel because I don't want to draw suffering, but something kind of symbolic is what I went for. Joanne, Michaela. Great. We have people ready to share. I'll stop sharing. You can see sort of what I did, I guess. Just always reminded when people get together and it looks a little too much like a party. But when people get together, they can really inspire each other. So that's what I tried to do in that second panel. Okay, stop my share. Zoom, stop share. Can raise my hand again. And we'll spotlight some people. So we have Alan and Joanne and Michaela, Lori, some other people. Oh, got to turn the timer off. All right, there we go. And I'll put that information about how to share in the chat. Alan, you want to go? I'll
Yeah,
spotlight.
okay.
You should.
So,
Oh, wait, let me change the settings. You probably want to do it on.
oh yeah, as usual, I did do in mine on the computer, so if I can
Yeah, there you go.
share. Okay. So, I don't know. The drawings I think are kind of rough because I don't know. It's hard to draw kind of things representing abstraction, so I'm not sure it's at all clear what these are supposed to be here. But for the puzzle pieces, for the first part, whoops, are you seeing?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. For the first part, I mean, the first puzzle piece is kind of just the kind of the persecution of different groups. That's supposed to be kind of a man
Yeah,
in power with a dart throwing at a dartboard, and that's supposed to
yeah,
be kind of the like LGBT pride flag, the Mexican flag, and then silhouettes of Africa and just showing some of the different communities they're persecuting. Um, Kind of the separation of wealth is the rich get richer on top and the poor get poorer on the bottom. And while there may not be much literal book burning, I think the suppression of knowledge and things is another thing that's really going on here. So there are
yeah.
some of the things that are concerning that are going on right now. So for the actual two-panel comic, again, it's kind of hard to represent things in the abstract, but once again, I guess the main thing is just the bigotry and the prejudice that's going on right now, the persecution of certain groups. So I have, once again, it's hard to draw things in the abstract, so I'm sure it's not at all clear what's going on here, but it's supposed to be kind of that, they're letting the the right kind of people in their eyes, this kind of this
Hmm.
figure with the hand and the points kind of represents the authority, kind of sorting. I should have drawn more people in front in line. I did not. Oh well, too late now. So kind of letting the kind of people go upward while the again we have representation of a woman, a person of color, and again this was the LGBT flag or some persecuted group. They have to go down. It's kind of simplification because I know there are obviously different levels of privilege and things like that, but kind of simplified view. But just that yeah that there is the prejudice against certain groups.
For
And
sure.
as far as what gives hope, I don't know, just art, I guess.
Yep.
Both I like to create things myself, so I have kind of the representation here of a painting, a book, and a comic, very rough art. I should have smoothed up the lines. The lines look terribly ragged, I'm sorry.
They're
But
fine.
just kind of, creating art myself, but also that I feel that a lot of artists are people who are among the people who kind of recognize what's going on and trying to bring it to light. So in the long run, maybe they'll help, I don't know, bring light on what's going on and help stop it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, I know the drawings aren't really clear as to what's going on, but that's what I was trying to convey anyway. So
Oh,
that's what
it's
I ended
great,
up with.
Alan. I really appreciate that. I feel you about art too. Sometimes it comes down to that for me. And you started us on, I wonder how many of these are going to uh, be examining the challenges of depicting abstract things, and how many are going to feel a little bit like political cartoons, which is a really interesting format. So let's see where this goes. Thanks, Alan. Those were great. Got Joanne next. Okay.
I
Can
found this very somber
mm.
today while we're
Yeah.
doing it. So at the beginning, I've just been very upset about food and SNAP, and so I just sort of came up with this kind of abstract where she's over the three panels and she's empty and thinking about food. And then I volunteered at a food bank this week, and it was like incredible.
Mm.
I just felt like if you want to get picked up and feel um, the best of people were there, so on one side are the people who
Yeah.
are, wanting to get fed, and on the other side, it's like all the volunteers were just like they wanted to help, and we were all there to do that. It was just very uplifting. Like this is people at their best, I
Yeah.
felt. And so you have them coming here and, sort of coming together in this beautiful, I mean, the food bank I live in Arizona, so it was all cars, and I really missed sort of
Mm.
seeing people, but this is sort of how I felt the experience was.
No,
So
it's really, really great. And as always, your drawings, the design elements in your drawings are always really arresting. Thanks, Joanne.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll go to Michaela. Hi, Michaela.
Hi, this is my puzzle. I'm mostly concerned, or just what came up in the moment. There's enough other stuff, but
Yeah,
um, immigration status, old age, and especially how older people caught in various immigration systems, like
yeah.
how do you figure out where do you belong and what your health allows and where, anyway, you get it. Everybody gets it. So I drew a very simple image, and then I ran out of color. You can see my both my red and black ran out simultaneously. I love they're Sharpies, but they run out very quickly. I just want to warn people. So the first image shows me like or somebody torn between different worlds in a kind of hostile landscape. And then the second one in this, I didn't get to finish filling in, but I think you get it. It's like
Hmm.
someone saving that person, or if it's about me, then it's like me saving myself, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but it was satisfying to draw as always for for Friday Night Comics. I love that.
Yeah. That first panel really feels like you're being pulled. You can really feel that. And yeah, that's a really striking image. And the interconnectedness you can really feel in the second image. Thanks,
Thank
McKay.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love Friday Night Comics.
Thanks. Hey. All right, we'll go to Lori next, then Sally, then Judith. I think that's what we got.
Um, so this is more personal as I see this gentleman uh every day. So I know he's taking care of himself. I know he's older. He goes, people take care of him. So I'm really concerned about the aged and homelessness and loneliness. And there's those food pantries, but on the bottom, I still have to feel, but how long is this going to last? That just really worries me. I know that
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of love and support, and it's there, but and I don't know this person, personally, I don't know if there's mental health issues going on, but it does worry me between families who are homeless, and need shelter with their children, but then older people who are walking around the community. And, you know, that's just, this just really bothers me.
Yeah, for
It's a
sure.
great,
Did
yeah,
you
great
did you draw
exercise.
yourself as a little mouse in that last panel?
Yeah. I put the little mouse at the bottom because I guess it was like, because you just feel so like, it's just so much stuff going out there and
Yeah.
you're just this little guy, and please let it, be better. I'm a glass half full person and I'm hoping it's going to improve.
Yeah. I think
So
we're coming up
thank you
with a
so
lot of
much.
interesting little metaphors here too. Thanks, Lori. Okay, we'll go to Sally, then Judith, and Beth. Hi, Sally.
Oh, hi. That video of the girl with her mother being dragged away by ICE just really got to me this week. Like a 16-year-old, her mom's being dragged away. It's just
I
horrible.
don't think I saw that.
And so I kind of did my panels as hearts, and this is people being separated from each other. And something that gives me hope is the whistles that they're using in Chicago to let people know that ICE is in the area.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they've got like different patterns that mean they're there or they're actually taking somebody. So, and then these are this is sort of censorship, and I don't know, sort of censorship, and this is music is a good thing that helps me get balanced again. So that's me.
Thanks, Sally. And I don't think I've seen you in a Friday night comic workshop in a while.
It's been a while. It's during my work day, and work has been a little busy. So
Uh, I'll mention that everybody, Sally is our regent for the year, our SAW regent, and it's because she did so much inspiring work in the past few years. So check out Sally's
thank
work.
you.
Thanks for doing that.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. And I didn't know that about the whistles. I got to go check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Thanks, Sally. All right, Judith next. How'd you?
Hi, everybody. Quickly, my puzzle pieces. I think I unmuted. Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you.
I had the first one to make art or sell art in my remaining time on Earth. That's like been my whole life. I can't figure out which I'm supposed. I know I'm not very good at the selling part, so what
And
could I
I
tell
think
you?
make art is the answer, but go ahead.
And then to be happy or give up coffee, sugar, and tequila for health reasons. That's another thing I'm really trying to figure out. And
Start
the
with
third
one.
one, pardon?
Start with just one.
Yeah, right. That's true. You're right. See, moderation, that's really important. And then the other one was to stay alone or risk having a relationship. That's something personal. But anyway, okay, so this is
That's good.
I feel as if I can't tell if this is a cliche or not, but it's based on real experience, obviously. So there's I live in Israel, so I refer to it as the what's going on in my neighborhood is like what the way I like to put it. And so there's all this war. There's a real war with real people dying, and it's not just Palestine and Israel. Obviously, there's Iran and Syria and Lebanon, and everybody's taking part. And what I showed was in Israel, people are in shelters. We have to go into shelters. There's sirens, and we're literally huddling in shelters. And in Gaza, there's place, and not only in the Middle East, everywhere there's warfare and rubble. So the thing that gives me hope is, and this is something that really happened, I had to be in the emergency room of the local hospital. And the hospital is the place where anybody who questions about apartheid or genocide, I mean, the mix of races and everybody taking care of each other is very extreme here. More than 50% of the doctors are Arab, et cetera, et cetera. And we had a siren while I was there. It was at nighttime, and the siren means you have like 2 minutes to get to the shelter. And there's everybody there. There's Arabs and Jews and old people and young people and religious and not religious. And somebody had balloons with them. And so we ended up huddling, it's not huddling, crowded in this place. And someone just started passing out balloons to everybody. And it made it very sweet. There was something extremely sweet about it. And this is the reality that people don't understand, because that doesn't necessarily get reported, if you know what I mean. So I think that what I wanted to say is that the actual person-to-person connection is totally the thing that works. That's
Absolutely.
really what works, and not what you read in the paper, or, well, that's how old I am. I say read in the paper as if sorry.
It's always
Anyway,
gonna be about people
yeah.
actively want to live together. Like let's be
So
together.
sweet. People are
And,
so sweet.
yeah, and and balloons now and then definitely adds to the
Well,
adds to
I decided from now on, I'm just going to carry them with me just in case, right? It's like
great.
an emergency thing, right?
Thank you, Judith. Okay, we'll go to Beth next.
Okay. Hello, I haven't been here in a while.
Hi.
Hi. I didn't do the first one because I was caught up in watching the show and didn't quite understand it. But I did just two drawings here on tender to age detainment. And I just wasn't, well, they're just good drawings. I don't know, I guess the hope doesn't seem, well, it was hard to figure out what the hope would be, but it just seems like a long shot. But
Is that a
yeah,
term that's being used these days? Tender aged detainment?
yeah.
Oh, wow. Beautiful drawings.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, let's hope
So,
for that
yeah, I
reunion.
saw a clip with Rachel Maddow, and she was trying to tell the story about it, and she just couldn't keep it. She couldn't keep from crying.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that kind of just stuck with me for the last couple of days.
Wow.
So,
Thanks so much, Beth.
sure. Thank you.
Fine. Okay, we'll go to Chris next, then Eli, then Zareen, then Martha. Here we go. Chris.
Thanks, Tom. What breaks my heart is hateful rhetoric. So this is Mike Johnson talking about the Hate America rallies. And what makes me happy is people expressing themselves in positive ways. Yeah. We love America, just not kings.
Oh my Gewalt. Oh. I got nothing. Oh,
Very simple.
yeah, I'm just pretty simple, but I'm in despair just looking at it. I appreciate that insight. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Man. Oh, the rhetoric. Eli is next. Hi, Eli.
Hi.
I like the octopus.
The what?
The
Oh,
octopus
yeah.
hat.
I love this hat.
Yeah.
It's so gross and sweaty now, though. I think I need to retire it. I forgot what puzzle pieces looked like, so I was having a little struggle there. So my puzzle pieces are started out kind of happy family, friends, my rights as a trans person, as a queer person, as a queer family, my garden business, how much longer am I going to be able to work because my body's kind of falling apart, aging and not having secure housing, no kids to take care of me if they liked me enough. And will we lose our protection? And I'll go back to that here. So my what breaks my heart, well, everything that's happening right now is breaking my heart in a million pieces. But what has always broken my heart is the breakneck speed of how we're destroying habitat and species due to human activity and greedy recklessness. And I just think about the innocence of these creatures trying to survive and do their thing under such extreme pressure. They don't know what's happening. And every time I see a little bird, or I don't know if you've ever seen these little boxfish, they live in, I think, more tropical water. I've seen them in Hawaii when I snorkeled. They're the cutest little things. They're just the cutest little things. I think there's probably an animation of them too, and just little things, just trying to do their day-to-day stuff under this pressure. But what see, I can't read my writing. What keeps my heart beating is the individuals and communities who work to lessen or reverse the damage through education and legislation and service and actual physical restoration and protection, because nature is resilient and it will rebound given the chance. It's just amazing how quickly stuff comes back if you give it a chance. And then the people, there's individuals and there's groups just out there all the time working tirelessly. And so I tried to think of some off the top of my head. So there's Greta, Jane, and then these are some random climate protesters. And I guess whenever I'm feeling bummed out, I try to get involved with some kind of service activity where I go volunteer time somewhere, because there is nothing that makes you feel more like, oh, wait, we actually can do something about this. It makes you feel less helpless. We can't do all the things, can't fix everything, but we can do some things, and every little bit will start adding up. And then it reminded me of that. And then I hate fascism also. So who likes it? I'm not sure if they really know what it even means, but I always think of that, like that cartoon. I think there's more pieces to it where the big fish is eating the little fish, and then all of a sudden all the fish turn around and they're bigger than the big fish. And it's a unity and organized thing. And so there's more of us than them. There's just a few greedy people. And I think when we work together, we can crush this and turn things around. I am an optimist who also is a pessimist.
I knew you were going
to. We're going to bring them down. There's more of us than them. It's going to be hard, but it's going to happen.
Oh, at the very least, I love your animal drawings. So that gives
my little weird deformed titmouse that I made. Yeah. Thanks. I love this thing every week. It's one of the things that makes me feel like the world is okay.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. All right, we'll go to Zareen. Hi, Zareen. Oh, I just muted you. You have to unmute. There we go.
Okay.
Hi there.
Yeah, thank you so much for this prompt. Hi, Tom. Okay, I went kind of an abstract route. So I was thinking about kind of like the different paths we can take as a society. One being where we use our resources, our power, the things that we have available to us to like basically where people who are in power, who are controlling the capitalist machine, are using their resources to squeeze out labor from the rest of us. They're using it to pull us apart from our families, and to just like increase their own wealth and power. And they're only thinking about how to, you know, how they can improve their own lives, without thinking of everyone else. And I especially think that in terms of AI and how all these like technological resources, which could perhaps in theory be used to actually benefit society and reduce inequity and, solve all of these different problems that we've been talking about. Instead, it's just being used to like help a few companies continue to make even more money and a few politicians just like continue to get more power. So yeah, this image is kind of like it's sort of supposed to be like one person and like two different hands, like their
Oh,
left hand and their right hand, and showing like two different paths. So like that's on one side is like the robot, AI, etc. And then on the other hand is an actual human hand. And in this one, they're kind of like squeezing a person and squeezing their humanity out of them. And then in this hand, they are nourishing them, they are caring for them, they are uplifting them. And I was thinking also about like the power of nature and the power of art, and kind of included that imagery in here. And yeah, thinking about the ways that we can organize and use our resources, either for the good of humanity and to uplift us or to, bring us down.
can you push it even closer to the?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's like really tiny.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a
thank you
little
for that.
blurry. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrific. Oh, thanks so much. Nice to see you,
Yeah.
Zemi. And
Thank
as
you.
a reminder, I'm going to put in the chat for everybody to share at various places. Thanks, Irene. Martha, my comrade, how are you?
I'm okay. The AI one hit close to home because really suffering, but I didn't write about that. I didn't draw that. Okay, so this is very, you know, quick. So in the bad half,
Are you a little blurry? You got a little, oh, that works.
okay, in the bad half, we have these arrogant men shouting. This guy looks a little bit like Dick Cheney. I don't know. They're just kind of shouting. Down here, we've got pollution. We've got some people who are kind of walking along, looking downtrodden. There's our poor White House with this stupid, like, ballroom thing happening in the background. Here's a dead tree. What gives me hope? All right. So,
There we go.
I'm trying to get it the right length. Um, so
Oh, it's a
Tilly
no King's rally. There
Walden,
you go.
Tilly Walden has these beautiful sketches where I didn't quite capture it, but she just draws faces and then they kind of morph into landscapes and things like that. So I was trying to think what uplifts me. Here's some people demonstrating at the No Kings protest. Here's some people taking care of kids. So one tiny thing that made me happy, Zoran Mandami wants to have free childcare. Like, what a beautiful thing. Let's do that. Down here's a little farmer's market. Here's a person with the cello. So the farmer's market, the music, that makes me happy. And these are just all the faces of people I would see at the demonstrations. And you can't really read it, but it says this is what democracy looks like. So trying to think about those moments. Um, and then I feel like my sanity is a little bit restored, but it often feels dark, like on this side.
Yeah.
So those are my panels. Very quick thumbnail thing.
Need an inflatable frog in there
True. Yeah, yeah.
or an inflatable dinosaur or something
Oh,
like that.
Portland.
Yeah. Were there any in Providence? I wasn't in Providence that day, so I missed it.
No. What? Yeah, actually, there were. There were some people dressed up as gigantic. What did I see? Some Pokemon characters, a giant duck. Yeah, there was a good feeling, and there were even more people in Providence in this last one. It went all the way around the State House and all the way downtown. So that made me happy.
Awesome. Thanks so much. It's nice to see
Yep.
you. All right. Go to Katie next, then Bev, then Gail. Um, there we go.
Hello, hello. It's been a bit since I've been here, but I'm glad to be back. Um, for mine, let me see. Yeah, it's of course it's gonna reverse the text.
No,
The first
forwards for us.
huh?
It's forwards for us.
Oh, good, excellent. So the first panel says humans are capable of so much cruelty and selfishness. And in the back, there's a little palace here that says The Great Gatsby. And in the second panel, says, but so many of us choose love every day over and over again. And it's the person shivering over here coming into a food kitchen, and it's filled with warmth and light and welcoming. And that's just it's the thing that I have to remember over and over again, that we are capable of so much unkindness, but everyday ordinary humans are choosing love over and over. And it's hard, and it is a choice. It is an active verb,
Wow.
and people are doing the dang thing.
Yeah. And so many people too. It's just hard to remember. I think you did one of the few, if only, two literal two panel comics where one person moves from one panel to the other. So we actually see a story. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think so. But anyway, thanks so much for that.
Thank you very much.
Very uplifting to think about. And The Great Gatsby. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll go to Bev next. Thanks, Katie. Hi, Bev. Hope you might have a focus on or a blur or something. Not sure if that's going to get
Oh, I didn't think I had a blur on anything.
You know, there's so many settings in the video settings.
Yeah, I thought mine was off. Let me see. I don't have blur on.
You have autofocus on or something like that?
Auto frame?
Maybe.
Well, I got rid of it, but it's pretty light.
Yeah.
But
maybe portrait lighting, Joanne says. If you have portrait lighting on, you should take that off, she said.
yeah, I struggle with this.
We all do. They keep adding new things, so.
Oh, I got a new computer and I just can't get used to this camera on it either. But
you just
well, what it shows, and I don't know if you can see this either. It's a picture of my friend just holding a small potato.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I drew. She told me I could use this picture if she was unidentified. But I've been so upset about the loss of SNAP because my friend has a rare genetic disorder where she cannot have any sugar whatsoever. So she tried a couple of weeks before she was going to lose her SNAP benefits. She's severely disabled. And she wasn't getting any luck. We live in rural Iowa, and she lives in a small town. She has to go to the next closest town to even find one food bank.
Oh my gosh.
And all she got was an apple, which she can't eat, a box of cereal, which she cannot eat, some canned goods, which she cannot have.
Wow.
She can eat meat and potatoes. Of course, they won't give you any meat. And you could only have one potato per person. So she got one potato and she's starving. It's just terrible. But then there's other people around that are calling people on SNAP parasites and lazy and immigrants, and they don't want their tax money going to pay for it. And I've just been so upset. I mean, I sent her some cash, and another friend of hers sent her some cash. She needs the cash from SNAP benefits so she can buy the food that doesn't contain sugar that she can eat.
That's rough.
And she can't find a place that will give her an answer, that will give her any help. She can't get our area agency on aging to even call her back.
Wow.
It's like we've been so Republican in this area, we can't, there's just nothing. But everybody says, oh, we've really been contributing to food and food banks, and everything is just wonderful.
There's so many, so much different.
So anyway, I had drawn a picture of her hand holding that one little potato, because when I saw that picture, I was just heartbroken.
I'm so sorry.
But I told her, I said, well, one picture's worth 1,000 words, so maybe that can get through.
Well, You can
to some people. And then this comic workshop came along, and I'm like,
you can put her contact info or something in the chat, and maybe people will help her out if that's something that would
well,
work.
she didn't want her name or anything out there because, we have a pretty big fear of any Republican negative backlash, and we don't have another citizenship country we can go to. So I could put in
Go
well,
ahead.
I don't know.
Take a look in the chat. People are definitely like asking how to help, so we'll let you do that, and we'll go to Gail.
Okay, well, that's wonderful.
Gail.
Thanks for listening to me.
Sure, Bev. See you next time. We'll go to Gail.
Okay.
Hi, Gail.
Hi. So some of the things that have been on my mind, pressing problems, too many cars. I live in a neighborhood that voted for Cuomo.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you in Staten Island? Where are you?
Yeah, no, I'm in Riverdale
Oh, yeah? Okay, go ahead.
in the Bronx, and I'm hoping to leave here as soon as possible. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. I feel like this week has been actually a pretty positive week. Very excited about Zoran and who is our new mayor. But lots of accusations against him for supporting Palestinians in Gaza, claiming that he was an anti-Semite because he supports human rights for all humans. Anyway, I should say that I don't like drawing about this stuff because
I find it hard too.
drawing is like an escape for me. It's a self-care thing, and I don't usually draw about upsetting things. So anyway, here's my two panels. What makes your heart? You could see all the cars.
Those cars, all that smoke. It's a great drawing. Look
Thank
at
you.
that biking, though. That's
And what makes your heart beat faster or whatever, or what keeps your heart beating? Bicycling. Yeah, Riverdale is also a car brain, almost suburb where I cannot deal. So I'm hoping to move to a place where bicycle lanes are more supported. Anyway, thank you for hosting, and thank you to our Netherlands person, Maureen.
our absentee host. Thanks, Gail. Good luck out there. Okay, we'll go to Shy next. Hi. Hi. Can you unmute? You should be able to.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, trying to later. Okay, I'm not muted right now, am I?
I can hear you. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Um, I this is my first time in this
In
what's
these
the word?
workshops?
Yeah.
Well,
So
well.
I'm a little anxious.
Oh, just yeah, we'd love to see what you have.
Um, I made this one's a little personal. I don't think you can see it very well.
It's clear. Oh yeah, that helped. Wow.
Let me see. It's a little personal. It's basically kind of going into like I struggle with a lot of like just mental health problems, just
Yeah.
generally to the point where it's just like very debilitating. And from a very young age, even it's just been very much of a people are only really just watching you like be hurt by not only by yourself but sorry but by others.
Yeah.
So it's like my brain feels like a scribble. So
Yeah.
it's just like a one big scribble coming from my head and it goes to this other panel here. So basically this panel is the break my heart and this one is the what keeps me going.
Yeah.
And what's the word? This is basically representing like the struggle, like internally and externally, and this one is basically me like sorry. Basically just how it kind of still kind of goes into my work basically.
Yeah.
It's basically how it's basically taking my head and putting on a page, and it's kind of like freeing my like
You can go ahead.
pain. That's the best way I
Thank
can
you for asking.
It's super powerful, really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And people are loving it in the chat, so you can go check
Oh,
that out. And also, I'm going to put in the chat one last time where you can share, because there are some ways you can share, and we'd love to see that again. But really beautiful.
thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we'll go to Ramona next. Here we go, Ramona.
I wanted to do something about the environment. I don't know if it's clear here. Is it visible? Is it flipped?
Yeah,
Or
no, it's not flipped. It's good.
okay. So for the prompt, I basically said like I saw this artist a while ago where they used the film out of chemical leaks in the water to like make these like effects with the camera. I didn't really draw it too well, but it was basically kind of like a colorful like thing on top where it was like splotches of that chemical. And then the first panel is kind of like showing the environmental damage that it causes and like oil leaks and how it can be bad for the environment. And the second panel is the photographer who would be like, I guess this would kind of show how people are able to spread awareness about different issues and like art is usually a big way to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. You
So
know,
yeah.
thanks so much. And that was a beautiful drawing. And you know what? You were our last sharer and our first sharer, and some in the middle all talked about how art really is the thing that sort of supports them and keeps their heart beating, you know. I really appreciate seeing that. Thanks, Ramona. I guess I'll replace the spotlight with myself, which I don't love to do. Thanks everybody. This was really fun, and the first time, and I don't think we'll do it often, but the first time we had a sort of guest virtual host or whatever you want to call how Maureen was doing at that time. I do want to put a couple links in to her class and her book, and I'm going to put those links in. And also mention that she does again a 3-month graphic medicine cohort every in January. I think she does it, and that'll be on the Sequential Artist Workshop site too. This was really powerful, and it was close to being like a little dismal at times, but mostly I think people did share those things that keep us beating, our hearts beating, you know, and it is about, more often than not, it was about people getting together and uniting, and the acts of love and care that do exist, and that they sometimes feel invisible because there's so much noise everywhere. But it's true that it's really, we are capable of taking care of each other, and maybe, as Eli said, maybe capable of more, you know, capable of toppling some of the bad stuff that's going on. And again, shout out to everybody who for whom art keeps their hearts beating. That's good for me too. As a last gesture, I'm going to ask you all to unmute and just say thank you, Maureen. Say thank you, Maureen, and that way we'll send this to her. And
Thank you.
yeah, say thank you,
Thank you.
Maureen.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maureen.
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 Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Next week,
Thank you.
non-fiction with Vanessa Davis for the Nonfiction Festival in Vermont. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Good
Right.
job.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.